Nathan MacKinnon had 8 shots on goal by himself in this game. The Boston Bruins, as a team, had 14. Avs win over the Boston Bruins 4-1. This was a complete beatdown by every metric except for the actual scoreboard. Somehow maybe even more of a beatdown than what we saw against Columbus the other night. The Avalanche are ruthlessly dominating teams when it comes to controlling the puck, creating chances, and they're giving up virtually none. It's gotten to such an extreme in these last 2 games that it feels like the Avs are playing teams that are in another universe. And they're not. Of course, on any given night, even the worst NHL team can beat the best NHL team. That's just the nature of hockey. But the Avs have done a great job of securing wins that they're supposed to have to start this year. While this game would mostly end in dominance, it did start weird. The first shot on goal of the game goes in the net, and it's not the Avs taking it. The initial attempt from Boston is going to skitter wide of the net into the corner, and Gavin Brindley is going to be the first man here. A puck battle along the boards is going to ensue, and Brindley just isn't able to do much with it, which allows Boston to keep the puck in the zone and get a second chance opportunity. From there, the Avs heavily overcommitted to that far side, which gives McAvoy a ton of room, and the panic to get back causes some awkward defense. You have to have someone step out on McAvoy, so one of your defenders steps up, the other one takes the man going to the net. That's fine here, but Parker Kelly just gets a little bit lost on the backside. He doesn't recognize the man charging to the back post, leaves a pretty open passing gap, which allows this slap pass clean through for McAvoy, and it's a tap in from there. You don't love to see any of that from your fourth line. You want consistent quality defense from them, and you didn't get it on that shift, and honestly at other times during this game, but I just don't care. Again, another nitpick situation. The Avs give up 14 shots on goal total. I don't care that there are a few breakdowns in a game. There are a few breakdowns in every game. And there just weren't very many more than a few in this one for Colorado. They just gave up so little. It is weird that it comes so early in the game that their mistakes get made and punished, but then they took over the game and won, so I can look past it. This is where the weirdness starts to kick in, because there are plenty of shot attempts through the first period, but very few things on net. So despite it being 4 minutes later, the second shot on goal of the game also goes in the net, and this time it is the Avs. Boston getting out of their own end here. They get it into the neutral zone, and a pretty errant pass here to no one, which allows the Avs to set things up. But keep in mind, this was Lehkonen forechecking, comes back into the neutral zone rather, and gets all the way across to the other side of the ice to continue to challenge this puck. So when the circle comes, Lehkonen steps up, is in the right position, and creates a play for himself by getting into this passing lane, getting a puck, and finding a way to get it up into Nathan MacKinnon. He doesn't have to do the all-world finishing. He just has to hunt pucks and get them to the right guys, and Nathan MacKinnon, breaking in, goes to the backhand for the finish. Nathan MacKinnon's great. Love him. We'll talk more about him later. It's a great job to finish on that breakaway opportunity, but let's talk about Artturi Lehkonen. It's not every play that is defense creating offense, but the Avs have done a great job of that this year, and Artturi Lehkonen is right there on this first goal to create this for Nathan MacKinnon. Lehkonen is not even close to the most skilled forward on the Avs. He's the 3rd most skilled forward on his own line and might be the 6th most skilled forward of the Avalanche's top 6. Despite that, he's the perfect wingman for Nathan MacKinnon. He can do defensive work. He can do dirty work in the offensive zones, and he has just enough skill to make the right plays and help create for the true superstars on the team. He fits in perfectly. Obviously, he has had great chemistry with Nathan MacKinnon over the years. MacKinnon has repeatedly talked to the media about how he loves playing with Lecky. And when he makes plays like that, it's not hard to see why. I bring up Lecky specifically, one, because he has 3 assists in this game. You'll see the other one to MacKinnon, and he also assisted on the empty netter. But 2, every great team needs a Lehkonen, a guy who's able to play with the top guys, but knows he's probably not a top guy himself. That isn't to say he's not really good. He'll be a 50, 60-point player for you, but he understands he's the role of third banana on the Avs top line, and he takes that role not just graciously, he's incredibly good at it. Basically what I'm saying is everyone needs a wingman like Artturi Lehkonen. Continuing on, the weirdness of the first period is still here at 1-1. The third shot of the game comes 3 minutes later, and it also goes in the net. This is Gabe Landeskog in the face-off dot, stepping in to take this one, and he's able to win it perfectly clean. It's a set play for the Avs pretty much. Burns just slides it over to Manson, who gets to the middle of the ice to unleash a shot. A bunch of chaos in front, one Av, a couple of Bruins. Hard to see through all of that, and Manson's shot finds its all the way through and in. There have been a weird amount of goals scored directly off of face-offs this year in Avs games, or am I just overanalyzing that? It feels like it's happened a lot, not just for the Avs, but against them too. It does technically count as a second-line goal. Landeskog gets the assist for winning the face-offs, and they were out there for that. But really, Josh Manson. Yes, that shot is C&I, works out, things go great, but he had so many other quality shifts in this game, both defensively, both physically, I guess offensively. I don't know English, I'm bad at this. Josh Manson played great in all three zones at all times. Had multiple shifts in the offensive zone where he was working in down below the hash marks that even looked really good. This is the bit of the roller coaster of Manson. He's had a lot of games where he's looked good. He's had a lot of games where he's made major mistakes, and you kind of live with all of that because at his best, Josh Manson is awesome. That put the game at 2-1 in the Avs' favor, and in hindsight, the Avs would really just run away with the game from there, even if the scoreboard didn't necessarily reflect that. You get through the rest of what was a weird first period with the lead, and you're feeling good, and then you get into the second period where the Avs truly did dominate, even if they don't score a goal. Colorado outshot Boston 16-2. In the second period. Part of that is they did get a number of power plays, and they did fail to score on those, which fair enough. But that is just relentless pressure. When you get a disparity that wide, there was nothing even really all that dangerous from Boston in the period. They almost were just out there allowing the Avs to practice their offensive side of the ice. And while the power play does end up going 0 for 5 tonight, and I didn't particularly like it, the Avs power play is down to just 12% on the season now, and it does need to get better. The Avs power play being bad in a game they win anyway is fine, right? This is when you want your power play to miss, when you're playing too well to lose. It didn't cost them. It didn't hurt them. Their PK showed up and kept the special teams battle even. And the power play didn't look truly horrible. There was a bad one maybe in the game. The one at the end of the game didn't matter. Game was kind of in hand already. So I'm not ready to really jump on it yet. It does need to produce better than it has, but it will. We know the Avs, even when we suffer through some poor power play stretches, on the whole, they will score more goals than they have right now. They're just too talented not to, regardless of systems or what you want to see or whatever. Their power play is better than 12% power play just by default. Yes, you do want them to finish better in this game, and I think that's true at 5-on-5 as well as on the power play in that second period. They generated a good number of chances and just couldn't find the back of the net. And that gets you into the third period. It's still a one-goal game. I truly expected a heavy pushback from Boston in this third period, and honestly, it just never came. Some of that is Boston might not be very good, but the Avs deserve a lot of credit for just not giving Boston that opening. Not quite as good as the second, but the Avs still outshot Boston 15-5 in the third. That's a team playing with the lead and still dominating the scoring chances. It does help that 4 minutes in, Nathan MacKinnon converts again. Some more errant puck work from Boston here. Good job by Marty to challenge the puck carrier. It creates an open puck, and MacKinnon jumps on it, and the Avs are off to the races. MacKinnon gets him in the zone and does his classic pull-up, but instead of standing in a spot like we see him do a lot on these pull-ups, he continues to float, continues to move his feet, and kind of moves through the center of the ice here as he has a little bit of extra room to work with, and that helps create chaos in Boston's defense. They all get jumbled in nearly a line here. I guess it's kind of a diamond. They're not doing a great job of coverage. I'll put it to you that way, which allows MacKinnon to get this down to Lehkonen. And then we see a situation where you start defending with your eyes. Lehkonen has the puck down low. You have most of the defense looking and pressing towards him. And then you have Pastrnak out high, who should be on MacKinnon. But Cale Makar steps up into this play and streaks down directly in front of where MacKinnon is going to trail into. And everyone's looking at this danger, right? Everyone's scared of Makar streaking in. Everyone's scared of Lehkonen maybe going in behind the net and working to the other side. No one is looking at Nathan MacKinnon as a second man in on this side. Pastrnak falls asleep on it, and that's enough room for Nathan MacKinnon to put a pasta-like shot onto this one to score. Don't ever get between a wingman and his center. What I really loved about Nathan MacKinnon was just the sheer force of will in this game. 8 shots on goal is a big number. For Nathan MacKinnon, it's just another Friday, but that is a significant amount of shots on goal, and it comes in a game where the Avs weren't finishing well. Nathan MacKinnon understood the assignment tonight and just kept firing pucks at the net until they started going in. That one, of course, a fantastic shot. MacKinnon's 6th goal of the season. He's averaging a goal per game. Yeah, he's pretty good. And that goal set the Avalanche up for success. As I said, they were just going to dominate through the end of this game. They were set up for a great position. It did take one great save from Scott Wedgwood in the 3rd period, and it's one that he made. So really, Boston was never all that dangerous outside of the very first shot on goal of the game. A Marty Necas empty netter seals the deal, which gets Marty Necas still on his point streak. 6-game point streak to start the season. That's fun to see. I'm glad he found that point to keep it going. And 6 games into the season, the Avs top line has given you 12 goals. Not only are they averaging 2 goals a game, Colorado has 21 goals total. So they're scoring over half of the Avs' goals so far this season. And the interesting part is, despite that being the case, it hasn't felt like the Avs are solely relying on them as a single line. The game-winning goal tonight comes from Josh Manson. You continue to get quality play out of your 2nd and 3rd lines. Even if your 4th line wasn't great tonight, the Avs have tons of options in their forward core. And while you do need that top line to step up at times like they did in this game, you can rely on that, and you can get away with it when maybe they aren't at their best. Colorado has built a juggernaut this year. I'll leave it at that. That is the end of this game video review. Thank you for watching. Head on over to thednvr.com for all of our coverage. I am Rudo, and being 5-0-1 is pretty fun.